Howdy folks, it's Donnie once again, and today I thought we'd do a little something different just for change. We'll just take a look at some Linux gaming. Now, for a long time, Linux people have been saying, hey, we've got to take over the desktop, right? We got to take over the desktop from Microsoft, get Windows kicked off the face of the earth and all that, right? But of course, it's never happened. Linux has never won the desktop market, and unless you count Chromebooks along with the desktop market, it probably never will. But one of the reasons that's been cited for lack of success on the Linux desktop is the lack of Linux gaming. Well, there have always been some Linux games, just not the wide variety of games that you'd have on your consoles or for Windows, but the games have been there. And it's getting a little bit better now that Steam has ported their software over to Linux, and they've been porting a lot of games over to Linux, but there's still not quite the variety that there is on Windows, right? But still, there are some good free open source games available on Linux, and the one I want to look at today is called Battle for Wesnoth. It's been around forever, doesn't cost you a penny, it's free open source just the way Linux is. And we can go here to the wesnoth.org website and we can read some about it. It's a turn-based tactical strategy game, and basically you've got your people that you need to send out on some sort of a mission, and they need to go cross-country to some destination, and along the way they're going to be battling all sorts of supernatural creatures. And there is a bit of strategy with it. You got to be really careful to not make the wrong moves and all like that. So it's a fun game, but it's also not just for Linux. It's also been ported to Windows, MacOS, and at one time in the pre-Linux days, there was also an OS2 version available, if you can believe that. So here's what it looks like, and we'll be doing a little sample play here in just a little bit just to show you how it works. But here's just some screenshots of it from my Ubuntu machine. And when you open it up, you will pick a campaign. You've got all kinds of campaigns here available, all with different goals. And so here I picked this campaign. I'm not even sure which one it is. I didn't take note, but that's okay. It's pretty typical of all of them. So then we come here, we see the map, and we see the destination up there at the top with the red X, it looks like, which is where we need to go. And so this is the scenario then, and we will be recruiting people. We will start out with a certain amount of gold. On most of the scenarios, on this particular one, we don't. We just have available the people that we start with, and we're not going to recruit anymore. But as we go through the different levels, we'll be recruiting people, we'll be obtaining gold, we'll be using the gold to recruit the different people. And all those little houses you see there, those are encampments. When we put our people on those houses, we will be eligible for more gold the next time around. And this then is just going to be our list of our goals here. It's going to define what will constitute victory and what will constitute defeat. And so we're starting out here with the explanation of the scenario, the background story of it, basically. And when you go to install it, you can just use your package manager. It's going to be in your repositories for pretty much all of your major Linux distros. Here we see Yum Extender on Fedora. And you see there I have all the packages picked there to install, except for the Wesnoth server. You don't need the server unless you are setting up for multiplayer environment. By default, it's just going to be you against a computer. But if you want to set up for multiplayer scenario where you play against other humans, then you can just go ahead and install that server as well. And here's what it looks like on Ubuntu with the Synaptic Package Manager. And of course, this is going to look the same on every type of Ubuntu. And I also installed this on an OpenSUSE machine using the YAST package manager, but I neglected to take screenshots of that. But I mean, it's going to be pretty much the same anyway, right? But anyway, that's pretty much it for the installation, for the introduction. Let's go ahead and fire this up, and we'll do a little example play, and hopefully I won't be up till 3 o'clock in the morning doing it like I was a few nights ago. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on it. Okay, so I screwed up and I have been defeated because I let one of my key characters get killed. But what I was wanting to do is go over to this little encampment here, which would represent another one of these different villages. And if I would have gotten that character over there when it was weak, it would have regained its strength over the next turn. And then also I wanted to go up here to this island because some more survivors were up there that needed to be rescued. But anyway, it's a fun game, and it can keep you going for a very long time. And there are multiple levels to it. Once you get through one level, then you go on to another level, and they'll just keep progressively getting more difficult. So it's a strategy game. There's a certain amount of action to it, not the action like the typical shoot 'em up games, but there's just enough action to to keep things interesting, and just to exercise your skills at implementing good strategy. Okay, so anyway, I think that's pretty much it there for the Battle of Wesnoth, or the introduction to it anyway. If you're a Linux newbie and you're interested in gaming, definitely check it out. And I think you'll enjoy it. I think if you're like me, you will get addicted to it. So be careful with that, okay? So anyway, that's it for now. If you like my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, you will also see on my channel a lot of other different types of videos as well, dealing with Linux. You'll see basic Linux, some more advanced Linux topics. So keep checking back. Subscribe to the channel so you get informed, and we will see you next time.